you. She's talking about the do not resuscitate order. A do not resuscitate order must be on a yellow piece of paper. It has to be legal size, has to comply with all the rules from the Department of Health. Very good point. We can't Xerox it onto white paper. We can't shrink it down. It needs to stay in its original form. Now, I will say, on the form itself, at the bottom, there's like a little perforated line, and you can actually take off those two little, and actually, believe it or not, I've never seen anyone do this, but the idea there is that you can laminate it, and there's a little hole you can punch out, and you can keep it around your wrist. If you are at the mall, and you have a heart attack, and you don't want to be resuscitated, and you've got that little laminated do not resuscitate order around your wrist, that also is compliant with the requirements. But a do not resuscitate order is different than a living will, and it's different than a healthcare surrogate. The do not resuscitate order is actually, it does one thing, and that is, it tells the emergency medical people, don't restart my heart. And it's important as we age because, frankly, guys, the older we are, the more brittle our bones are. And so the greater likelihood that our ribs will crack when they're resuscitating us, and that our lung will be punctured, and we'll do that weird thing that I try to avoid, which is pain and suffering before we die, right? So sometimes it's better not to be resuscitated and then die. Sometimes it's like, just let me go. Let me go to the light, right? So it's up to you. But I think do not resuscitate orders for people who are older is probably, lead to less suffering. Now, you may be a person who's like, I really want to live as long as possible no matter what. Great. We have a living will for you. And that's going to say exactly that. I want to be resuscitated. I want to live as long as possible. The beauty of our laws is that you get to choose how you live and how you die. But you have to fill it out. You gotta write it out, okay? All right, so we talked about do not resuscitate orders, and the best place to keep your do not resuscitate order is in a plastic tube in your freezer, okay? That's where EMTs are gonna look for it. If you're like, well, I don't trust that they're gonna look in there, just put it on your freezer if you want, put it right on your fridge with a magnet. I don't like that because I don't wanna look at it every time I go to the refrigerator, right? I'd rather it just be in the tube, right? But you can do that. If you're like, I want to make sure they don't miss it, you can also put it, remember, on your laminated, put on your wrist. Okay. Do not resuscitate orders. Excellent question.